Hello and welcome to day 5 of Black History Month, 28 Days of Black Excellence. I'm your host, Faith Amour, and I'm excited for us to talk today about some history as it pertains to the world of music. Now, who was this woman? Oh, show her. She was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia. She was the first Black Canadian concert singer to gain international fame. She was a contralto, singing classical music and spirituals, and toured Europe, the Caribbean, and all the Americas. Her name is Portia White. Let's get her name. There it is, Portia White. Now, she retired in 1952 because of issues with her voice and a battle with cancer. She became a vocal coach to some vocalists that we know, Don Franks, for example, who passed away recently, a jazz singer, Anne Marie Moss, and Robert Goulet, among others. She got her start in the church choir as a member at the age of 6. Her mom was the music director, so oftentimes moms can get their kids to do things that they wouldn't otherwise be doing. So she was frequently entering singing competitions and she would win, although she had no training. She really wanted to take lessons, but she just never had the money to do so. So when she eventually became a school teacher in Africville, she saved up her money and she began her vocal training. This training led her to getting a scholarship to the Halifax Conservatory, where under Ernesto Vinci, he was Italiano, she learned the bel canto style, and bel canto means beautiful singing. She had a 3-octave range. Now, as a vocalist, that's a wide range to actually say that you own. So that's a really awesome thing. And as a Canadian, it was interesting because she was compared to Marian Anderson, who they would say was the American equivalent, Black woman, going out and singing the classical music with a strong, beautiful tone and presence. She auditioned at the Metropolitan Opera in New York, and she was actually the first Canadian to perform at New York's Town Hall, which was a very, very big deal. Now, being a Black singer in the classical genre made it difficult for her to get work in the United States. You can imagine how that was. But ultimately, she did prevail, and she had quite an exciting career until illness and some changes made her switch gears to education. She was declared a person of national historic significance by the Government of Canada. Her supporters, actually, very interestingly, Nina Simone had supporters for her classical training when she was young. And the same story here is true for Portia White. They created the Nova Scotia Talent Trust, which awarded annual scholarships to both emerging and established local artists. And they made a prize also called the Portia White Prize. She's also received a Lifetime Achievement Award by the East Coast Music Association after her death. One of the highlights of her career was a command performance for the Queen and Prince Philip in 1964. A command performance is literally when the royalty commands, "You shall perform for me," and that's usually heeded quite well. And so that was quite the honor for her. Her legacy, oh, you can see him playing with new toys. Her legacy is that she was the first Black woman Canadian to have an international career and in classical music. That is quite a feat because it wasn't common for Black people at that time to be all into classical music. So that was really cool. I know growing up myself, I was into classical and studied with the same books and repertoire as her. She sang classical European music and Negro spirituals. And I have that same Harry Burleigh book. I wanted to show it to you, but I couldn't find it in time. But it's all good. But yes, she paved the way for other Black classical singers, primarily females. For example, Ottilie Graham or Misha Bruger-Gosman, which is one of the classical divas that we have in our time right now, and they are creating Black history as we speak. And then up and coming singers that I know personally, we have Justine Owen, Alison Young, Janelle Sills. These women are following in those footsteps. So my challenge for you today: what can you do in the spirit of Portia White? Let's take a listen and see what this woman was all about. Play.
Oh, wasn't that a wide river? Arranged by Harry Burleigh.
Harry Burleigh. This will be a Negro spiritual that she'll be singing. This will be in English.
Oh, wasn't that a wide river? River of the dead Lord. Wide river, there's one more river to cross. Oh, wasn't that a wide river? River of the dead Lord. Wide river, there's one more river to cross.
So there you have a little bit of the voice of Portia White. She was a beautiful woman. I love this shot. It looks like she's wearing a fur backwards. And what's interesting is that the government started to fund her travels as she became an ambassador for Canada. And they purchased this white fox fur, I believe. And I have a feeling that might be it. It might be the shadowing. It might be the very fur that the government purchased for her to make a big splash as she performed around the world. Now, I challenge you to go ahead and be the first, be the best, be the one we talk about for years to come. If you have something to that effect that you want to mention, please share it and share your thoughts in the comments. We look back so we can look forward to a better world. See you tomorrow when we'll talk about an inventor that we can thank for making our lives better. I'm Faith Moore, and I'll say bye-bye for now.